Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and we're at it again. It's time for more add-ons. Alright, so we are going to talk about quite a lot today. There's going to be some pretty cool add-ons to discuss today. So let's go ahead and jump right after it. First thing I'm going to do is shut down the simulator and then we'll take a look at what we got. Alright, so first things first, as always guys, links to all of these mods will be in the description down below, so make sure you guys check them out if you guys find something that's very interesting to you. Now, the first one that we're going to be doing is called LukeAirTool. This is very similar to the Pack X that I did a review on last week. The difference is it's free. Okay, so obviously major advantage to those who don't want to spend the $29.99 for Pack X. So let's go ahead, and we've already downloaded it. I've already extracted it. We're going to see what it looks like and going through the installation. Then we'll launch the sim and take a peek. All right. All right. So as you can see here, I have the AirTool installer up here. Now it does just pack as installer. I added the AirTool underscore to it. That way I could identify it easily in this list of chaos. But other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory. We're just going to open that up, and it's got its own installer. So let's go ahead and run that and see what we get. We got next. Now let's choose our default directory. Now this is another one of those situations where don't always stick to the default. All right. So I want everyone, because I'm really the one who touches this computer, but I'm going to browse. I'm going to pick my own location. All right. So, oops, I didn't mean to create a new folder there. I'll have to catch that later and kill it. Let's see here. So we're going to change our drive. Go to the applications drive. Come in here to the applications folder. And here I do want to create a new folder. And let's just call this AirTool. And let's go ahead and have it install there. So now be applications AirTool. Let's hit next. And next. And we'll let it rock and roll. Boom. Okay. So AirTool is now installed. We shouldn't need this folder anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it. This is how I know that I've gotten things done here, and I thought I had a folder for it still, but maybe I got rid of the zip already. It's possible. Alright, so let's get in the sim and see what it looks like. Alright, so here we are at a very quiet George Washington International. But let's go ahead and get in the seat and see what this thing's all about. So the first thing, actually get ahead of myself. Now this is also in your start menu by default if you're on Windows 10. We'll go ahead and launch it from here, and then you can copy the shortcut anywhere you want. First time launching. Here we go. This app is a freeware with future app purchases. Okay, fair enough. In-app purchases. This app should have been downloaded from the FlightSim.2, which it was. And a link again, link in the description below, as always. So let's go ahead and keep moving here, and let's see what we got. So let's jump into the seat. Well, I don't know. Maybe we don't need to. So let's see what we got here first. So we are rocking United, so this is kind of cool. So let's see what we got. American Airlines, that's nice. Delta, Lufthansa, KLM, and United. There it is. All right, so what do we got? We are on an Airbus. So let's see.
Welcome aboard. Before we depart, please remove the safety card from the seat pocket in front of you and follow along as we demonstrate the safety features of this Airbus A320 airplane. We appreciate your complete attention to this important safety information.
If you're seated in an exit row, you may be required to assist the crew in an emergency. If you're unable to perform the functions described on the safety card, please advise the flight attendant for reseating at the end of this video.
Fasten your seatbelt low and tight across your lap. Insert the metal fitting into the buckle. Tighten the belt by pulling on the loop end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to COVID-19, we would like to remind passengers that you have to wear a face mask at all times during this flight. If you require a new face mask, please ask one of our crew members for one. Thank you.
Okay, so there you guys go. There's a couple of different things here. Let's go back to the menu. What do we got? Tools, charts. What's in charts? Ah, look at that. All right, so let's check something here. KPHX, just for curiosity. Search. Well, I'll be damned. Look at that. So it looks like it's just a screenshot, but still, that's pretty neat, guys. So there's another tool for you guys, for you flight planners. It looks like you just close up there. Okay, so custom audio. I know that you can do that. Pack sim. Let's see. Seat layout. Does it give it to me? I didn't see anything pop up. So I think they said that's coming in December. So that's fair. I knew that already. I was just curious if there was anything there. Give you a contact where you can reach out to them. Mobile phones. And you can donate, which I think I'll probably do. So, right off the bat, if you compare this to PackX, which we did the review on last week, and again, link will be for that, but down in the description below as well, so you guys can check that out, because that's going to be some weights and balances. PackX, obviously, much further developed, quite a few more options, but okay. Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, yeah, so PackX, more developed, more options. However, the thing that's nice about this is you determine when the messages take place. So there is that. PackX, it just sort of happens at certain moments, you know. I haven't quite figured out what triggers, for example, the top of descent message, you know, we're descending into Chicago, etc., whatever. The security messages, some of those are pretty easy. It's when you close up the aircraft, disconnect the jetway. So I would say, like I said, PackX, more features, but $29.99. AirTool says, later in-app purchases. So there will be things that you will need to purchase for the app to be fully functional, but I don't know how much of that is going to be custom. How much of that is going to be in relationship to the flight crew announcements versus how much of it's going to be just third-party apps like the charts, for example. So anyway, that's mod number 1, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Link down in the description. And let's check out what we have in store for you next. All right, so the next one is one that people have been anticipating and looking for. I finally found one. Haven't tried it out yet, so we're going to try it out together, guys, but it is a Cessna 172 performance mod. Increases the performance of the engine, gives us better climb rate, my understanding is better handling, and better overall feel of the aircraft itself, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and grab this guy. Open this one up. So that's the one that we want. So I'm just going to change the name of this to C172X. Just makes it easy for my folder structure here. And, oh, I actually already installed it earlier. My bad, but that's all right. Hadn't flown it yet, so we'll pretend like I didn't. You weren't there. Anyway, and let's go ahead and grab this guy and bring it in. Okay, so we've got our C102. Now, it's important to remember this is the G1000 C172. So I will have a link for the G1000 features update as well from Working Title down in the description below, because I highly recommend, if you're going to be using a mod or an aircraft that has the G1000, you might as well be using the performance mod for the G1000. That way you get the most out of it, okay? Again, all it does is bring the avionics system up closer to full fidelity and real life functionality. All right, so let's go ahead and see what the Cessna is all about. All right, so as we are loading up here, we can see what the versions have here. He's got a joystick version, a standard version. You still have to lean under 3,000 feet. Just always use a static full power run up before takeoff and lean for max RPM. This is not realistic, but he can't figure out how to fix that, which is fair. But anyway, so what we do now have is increased power and adjusted lift drag, increased climb performance and short field takeoffs, a slightly decreased ground roll and torque effect, changed autopilot input behavior, altitude for speed, flight controls. Now increases always the same amount with each button press, no longer increasing jumps. The longer you push the button, right? Autopilot vertical speed steps are now at 50 feet per minute increments. So a couple of things. So I'm just sort of curious to see what we get. Let's see here. So, and then if you use the stick version, you get significantly reduced ground roll torque effect, and then the decreased effectivity of the elevator ailerons and rudders, and decreased elevator trim effectivity. So that makes sense for someone who's using a flight stick. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. Airspeed's alive. Oh, okay, so the trim went from nothing to hello crazy again. All right, so definitely a difference on the takeoff. It's much more consistent. I mean, we're at 7 degrees here, and she's still climbing out, no problem. Speed's starting to reduce, but nothing bad. So yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good little addition. Definitely a really good start for the aircraft. So I'm interested to see if anything comes down the road moving forward. But now let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, so now we have yet another one. This is going to be more for us airline drivers, but it's called Pushback Helper. Okay, and what it does is totally changes the overall connection of the or overall use of a lot of the functions that we have to call ATC ground services for your jetway connection, your fuel cart, etc. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like. All right, so first we're just going to go ahead and read the README and see what the installation looks like. This app is an external app. You do not need to put it in the community folder. Simply extract all the files and rush Pushback Helper or run Pushback Helper exe. All right, so literally all we need to do is take this guy. So I'm going to rename it a little bit. I don't like all that stuff on the tail. But I'm going to leave it at version 2.2. It's nice to keep that in there. That way you know when you're out of date. Now we don't need to go in here, so I'm going to do is cut it. I'm going back into my applications folder where I have everything else. And let's paste it in here with all the other stuff we have. Okay, let's launch the sim and see what it looks like. All right, so now that we're in the sim, let's go ahead and pull up our installation folder. We used Pushback Helper here, and it says just to run the exe, so that's what we're going to do here. All right, so here's what we got. Let's see if I can move it around. I can take it off screen, although it says disconnected. Let's try this activate button. Connected. All right, cool. So let's see. One of the advantages, so the aircraft, by the way, is completely cold right now. No power onto it whatsoever. No ground power, no batteries on, no nothing. Let's see if we can do the jetway. Ooh, doggy. One of the things I hate the most is having to turn on the batteries to request the freaking jetway. Awesome. Okay. And then it says we can call the fuel truck. Let's call the fuel truck. I can't tell if that worked or not. Try that again. No? So you do have to click back in the screen once you make an option, which makes sense because it's a third-party app. It's an external application, so you're technically clicking out of the simulator when you activate it. So that's fine. I can get used to that. But now, let's try the big one, shall we? Okay, so I hit activate. The jetway's going away. Oh, crap. I got the parking brake on. Alright, so we're going straight. Oh, okay, so pick the side of the fuselage you want it to turn. Just like it did before. So it's just, it looks like it's just repeating the in-game commands, which is perfect. And then if we want to stop, I would assume, let's try the activate button again. Yep. Just tap the activate button. So your activate is your start and stop. And voila, we're done. Although, I was gonna say hopefully he leaves there. Perfect. So cool little add-on. I'm thoroughly stoked with this. I think that's awesome. And let me know what you guys think. Description or a link in the description down below, guys. Let's move on to our next one. All right, guys. So the final tool I'm going to be showing you guys here, or final add-on, I should say, is more of a tool. And it is called MSFS Addons Linker. Basically, it is a mod manager. It allows you to easily add and remove the different mods. So let's go ahead, and I've already downloaded it. And here's the folder that we get extracted. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so once again, I'm going to go ahead and sort of rename this a little bit here. I'm going to keep the version on there. Now, it is another one of those external applications. This doesn't need to be put anywhere in particular. Okay, here's the executable for it. So what we're going to do is drop this where I have everything else. And I'm going to go to cut, go to my B again, go to applications, and drop it in. And then I'm going to create another folder here. And we're going to call this MSFS Addons. Let's do MSFS mods folder. Or, I don't know why I put folder. That was retarded. There we go. Okay, and here's why we're going to do this. So, let's go ahead and launch our linker. All right. So again, this is going to be another one of those examples of why it's important to make sure that you guys put your community folder somewhere other than the default directory, because it's freaking stupid. But anyway, so MSFS community folder. Let's go ahead and find it. So that's going to be in C, custom folders, packages, community. We're going to hit OK. All right. Custom FS start exe. I'm not worried about the start execute. I want to do my own. I don't mind tapping the old button. Let's see here. Rename description, full restart, folder initial state all collapsed. Okay. Horizontal mode. All right. So we'll play with all this stuff in just seconds here. So now we need to find our add-ons folder, and so I'm going to show you guys that in a second. So we're going to do something here. It's going to be crazy. We're going to go to my community folder. Now I'm going to pull everything out of here except the A32NX. And the reason why I'm leaving the A32NX is because it has its own updater and its own installer, so we don't need to worry about managing it. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, but we're going to cut all of this out, and I'm going to put all of this into my MSFS mods folder. And this is probably going to take a minute. Okay, so we have all those in there. So now my add-ons folders. Now we need to add one. So here's where we're going to find that folder I just made. So that's going to be under B, Applications, MSFS Mods, and hit OK. Okay, and so now we're going to start here. Colorize green enabled folders. Let's go ahead and do that. No warning when launching the simulator. Don't need that. Use system tray when minimized. Nah, I can stay there. Horizontal mode. I don't know yet. We haven't seen it. Disable MSFS is running warning. Yeah, I don't need anything to warn me about that. That's one of those things I'm actually pretty good at. But basically what this means is if when you launch it and the sim is already running, it will tell you, hey, the sim's running, because you obviously don't want to be throwing add-ons in while the simulator's running. Okay. Auto close linker after sim launch. I'm okay. Let's see here. Administrator rights, sure. I think I'm happy with that. All right, so let's hit OK. And boom, here's what we got. So here's all of our add-ons that we've been messing with. So here's our aircraft 747 convert, for example. Could not create symbolic link. Please run the tool as administrator. Uh-oh. All right, so let's do that. I hope I didn't just mess that up. Let's go back into B. Let's go to applications. And let's find our linker. And let's run as administrator. I don't know why it would need me to do that. All right, so let's try this again. There we go. All right, so run as admin. No biggie. All right. And let's see here. So A3, 2, and X. I don't know why it's asking about the... Oh, that's right, because it's already there. It's recognized the community folder. That's okay. Cool. And so this is telling us it can't disable it because it's not in there. Now, content type, I wonder if we can change that. Guess not. So some of them it will pick. We'll have to see if there's a way to set what the content type is. And then, so here, let's do our 152, our 172, our DA62. VFR map can hold off for right now. The improved physics, I'm actually liking that. That's a pretty good mod. My Flagstaff, my Grand Canyon National. Here's all my liveries. Oh, there's the King Air 350i. That's another mod. And let's see here. There's the 172 for the 1000 liveries. My A320 liveries. We can put the 747 in there for now. Nav data. TBM 930. These are all the stuff that I want back in there, definitely. Okay. And so now, and if at any point I don't want one of these, let's say I decide, I don't know, I don't want the 747 liveries anymore. You just uncheck it, and it removes it automatically. And we can watch the change take place. So if we go to packages, go to community, and you can see it makes a link to it, and that's fair. It'll work just the same way. But if we do, for example, let's put those liveries back in. And there it is, right there. Just created it. All right. So anyway, it's a real handy way to manage your add-ons. Real easy to remove them, add and remove, you know, things like that. Play around with them a little bit as you need things and don't need things. Makes it a lot easier handling things. I'll agree. I've used something similar to this in DCS World called OVGME, which honestly would probably work just as great for this as well. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed these add-ons and mods today with a little help from the tools. Obviously more to come. I'm sure you guys saw the list. We have scenery to review, a couple other tools to review. One of them is the Payware ATC that I'm going to try out and check out for you guys. And then, yeah, so stay tuned, guys. And I will catch you guys in the next one.